Hi, this is Michael, and this is my review and unboxing of the Asus MemoPad HD7. This is a very low-priced yet very competent 7-inch tablet by Asus. It shares basically very many of the same features that the Nexus 7 tablet has, but at a greatly reduced price, and there's a few reasons for that which I will show you. So this is how the Asus is packaged, and you just remove it from this little plastic sleeve, and there is the tablet itself. You also get a user manual, warranty information, and this is the micro USB charging cable that you would use to charge the tablet. And then this is a AC adapter that can be used internationally. This is 100, 240 volts, and 50 and 60 hertz. And there's a single USB port on there. And then also included is a very kind of a cheesy little stand that you can use for the Asus. So here is the tablet. Now it's identically sized to the Nexus 7. Asus actually makes the Nexus 7, so that shouldn't be too much of a surprise. But I can put one on top of the other, and they are exactly the same size. However, the case is quite a bit different now. In the case of the Nexus 7, it's kind of a rubberized surface, and it's textured. And it's very grippy, and it feels very secure when you hold it. Another difference here is the micro USB and headphone port are at the bottom on the Nexus 7. Now on the Asus, the back is a sort of a satin finish. It's a little more slippery, doesn't have that grippy feel, and it just doesn't have quite the same solid feel as the Nexus 7 tablet. However, it doesn't feel cheesy either. Some of the other tablets that I've seen, especially in this price range, the under $200 tablets, they literally feel plasticky and very cheap, and this does not feel that way. This long slot on the bottom is the stereo speaker, and then on the side we have the volume and the on-off button. Now the volume and the on-off button is sort of wrapped more towards almost on the bottom. I mean, it's still on the curved side, but it kind of wraps around the back, and that is a little bit of a problem when you put it into a case, which I'll show here. This is the case that I use for my Nexus 7, but you can see possibly that those buttons are so far underneath that I really can't get to them very easily when it's in the case. So that's kind of a minor yet definitely an inconvenience. The button placement there could be better. Then on the front you have a 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera, and on the back is a 5 megapixel autofocus camera, and this is also capable of taking 1080p video. On the side is the MicroSD for external storage, so this is great. You can really expand the storage capability of the MemoPad because of the MicroSD slot. And then on the top, I showed you earlier where the USB and headphone ports were. They've moved that to the top on the MemoPad, so that's a little different, and I think maybe I prefer them on the bottom, but that's where they are. Now this has got a quad-core 1.2 gigahertz processor. It comes with 16 gigabytes of flash memory, and there's 1 gigabyte of RAM memory in here. Battery life is great. Get about 10 hours of use with this. I'm very happy with the battery life, and it weighs just a little over ½ pound, so it's not very heavy, and it's very easy to hold with one hand for longer periods of time. The display is very nice. It's got a great resolution, 1280 by 800, and the colors are nice and bright, and it has a very good viewing angle from side to side. I have seen other tablets that the viewing angle is not nearly as good. One complaint I do have about the display, though, is I don't know if this top surface is glass or plastic. It kind of feels like plastic to me. It has a different feel than the Nexus 7 screen. It seems to accumulate fingerprints easier than the Nexus 7 screen, and whereas this feels slippery, smoother, slipperier, this is a little more grabby when I try to run my finger across it. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, and I don't know for sure if this is plastic, but it is definitely not the same surface that the Nexus 7 uses. Now Asus has installed some of its own software. Some people would call it bloatware. It has its kind of own overlay over Android, so that may bother some people. It doesn't bother me too much because they've done a nice job with it, and they do include some special software, My Painter, Asus Studio, which is a photo management app, and Supernote Lite. And then there are some subtle differences as far as what you might be used to if you've used a Nexus 7 or something that's pure Android. So this is what the settings page looks like, and that is definitely a little bit different than what the settings page would look like on the Nexus. So this is the Nexus settings page versus the Asus page. Overall, I'm very happy with the MemoPad. It's for the money. It just gives you a really nice functioning tablet. It's lacking in not much, I'll tell you. It does have apps built in. I shouldn't say built in, but apps that come with it. And of course, Play Store is here for you to download other apps. It's for the money. It's a very, very nice functioning 7-inch tablet. The display is very nice. The sound is decent, and you know, it's a stereo speaker, and they do provide Sonic Master technology, which lets you tweak the sound a little bit too. I like how the camera works, and the camera does take some very nice pictures. I took this picture yesterday, just stuck the thing outside and took a nice photo. That's with the 5-megapixel camera, and really very nice resolution, 5 megapixels. Certainly better than the Nexus 7, because the Nexus 7, the older one, didn't have a rear-facing camera on it at all. So that's a very nice feature. So if you have any questions, leave me a comment. I'll answer it if I can. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Have a great day.